Mercedes-Benz built a car so exclusive it never appeared in any brochure. An SUV that can spin 360 degrees on the spot, illegal on public roads. And a hypercar so complex its engine costs $850,000 just to rebuild. For 140 years, Mercedes has been the one brand the world keeps trying to define and keeps failing. From the three-wheeled machine that crashed into a wall on its first demo, to the loudest, fastest, most controversial EVs ever built, these are the Mercedes models that changed everything. And the insane stories nobody tells. The birth of speed, when two men invented the future. Benz Patent-Motorwagen, the birth of everything. 3 wheels, no roof, no doors, no windshield. A 954 cubic centimeter single cylinder, 0.75 horsepower, 10 miles per hour top speed, and patent number 37435, the birth certificate of the automobile. Carl Benz crashed it into a wall on the first public demo. His wife Bertha then secretly drove it 50 miles across Germany without permission, refueled at a pharmacy, creating the world's first gas station, and invented brake lining on the side of the road. Only 25 ever built. Not fast, not reliable. But every supercar, every EV, every F1 car alive today exists because a man built something that crashed into a wall, and his wife drove it across Germany anyway. Mercedes 35 horsepower. The name that changed everything. Emil Jelinek, a wealthy diplomat obsessed with speed, ordered 36 cars from Daimler and named them after his 10-year-old daughter, Mercedes. A 5.9-litre inline-4, 35 horsepower, 53 miles per hour. At the 1901 Nice Race Week, it dominated every category. The French Automobile Club declared, "We have entered the Mercedes era." Jelinek later legally changed his own last name to Jelinek Mercedes. The most iconic automotive brand in history was named after a little girl by her obsessed father. Mercedes Simplex 60 horsepower, the fastest thing alive. Weeks before the prestigious Gordon Bennett Cup, a factory fire destroyed Mercedes' 3 purpose-built race cars. They borrowed customer cars instead. Belgian driver Camille Janazzi, the Red Devil, took a customer's Simplex and beat every purpose-built race car on the track. A 9.2-litre inline-4, 60 horsepower, 80 miles per hour. The fastest production car on Earth in 1903. Only 102 ever built. Just 4 survive today. Blood, steel and obsession, racing, war and forbidden luxury. Mercedes-Benz SSK. The last car, Ferdinand Porsche, built before starting his own company. Designed by Ferdinand Porsche as his final project for Mercedes, before storming out after a bitter dispute with the board. A 7.1-litre supercharged inline-6, 225 horsepower, 120 miles per hour. The fastest sports car on Earth in 1928. Rudolf Caracciola won 26 hill climb races in 2 years with it, alone. Only 33 ever built. A surviving 1929 example sold at auction for $7.4 million. Today there are more replicas in the world than real ones. Mercedes-Benz 500K/540K. The dictator's garage. Hitler used them. Hermann Göring had one custom built with his family crest on the doors. Nazi Germany gifted one to the King of Egypt, repainted red because no Egyptian was legally allowed to own a red car except royalty. A 5.4-litre supercharged inline-8, 180 horsepower, 110 miles per hour. Only 761 ever built. A surviving special roadster sold for $9.6 million at Pebble Beach, the most ever paid for a German car at the time. The most beautiful cars of their era, built in the darkest chapter in history. Mercedes-Benz W125 Grand Prix car, the monster they banned after 1 season. Hitler personally funded the Silver Arrows program as a Nazi propaganda weapon, and it worked. A 5.6-litre supercharged inline-8, 646 horsepower, 196 miles per hour. The W125 dominated every race in 1937. Racing authorities immediately changed the rules to ban it after just 1 season. The twist nobody mentions. It remained the most powerful race car on Earth for nearly 30 years. Only 11 ever built. Mercedes-Benz W154, the last race before the world ended. Regulators tried to slow Mercedes down by slashing engine displacement limits. It didn't work. A 3.0-litre supercharged V12, 483 horsepower, the W154 dominated 1938 and 1939 anyway. Its final factory race was the Belgrade Grand Prix, September 3, 1939, the exact day Britain and France declared war on Nazi Germany. The engines went silent, the cars were locked away, only 15 ever built. Mercedes-Benz 300 Adenauer, Germany's throne on wheels. A 3.0-litre inline-six, 115 horsepower, $6,500, twice the price of a Cadillac. Chancellor Konrad Adenauer used 6 of them, giving the car its nickname forever. The Pope rode in one. Options included a mobile telephone and a dictation machine. In 1951, the bizarre detail, it outsold Rolls-Royce in several markets. Germany had just lost a world war. 6 years later, they were building the most prestigious car on earth, Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, the accident that became iconic. The Gullwing doors weren't a design choice. The chassis frame was so tall, conventional doors were physically impossible. Genius by accident. A 3.0-litre inline-six, 215 horsepower, 163 miles per hour, the fastest production car on Earth in 1954. Also, the world's first production car with direct fuel injection. Only 1,400 ever built. The term supercar didn't exist in 1954. The 300 SL invented it. Mercedes-Benz 600 Grosser. The dictator's limousine. No budget constraints, no compromises. A 6.3-litre V8, 250 horsepower, $18,000, 50 working days to build each one. The client list reads like a history of power and infamy. Elvis, John Lennon, Coco Chanel, and Mao Zedong, Fidel Castro, Idi Amin, and Saddam Hussein. Governments that rejected Rolls-Royce bought Grossers instead. North Korea still uses one for parades, only 2,677 ever built. The most prestigious car ever made, and the most morally complicated. Engineering gods, Cold War luxury, and the safety revolution. Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 3.5 Cabriolet, the last hand-built Mercedes. The last Mercedes ever assembled entirely by hand. A 3.5-litre V8, 200 horsepower, $14,000. Only 1,232 ever built in 24 months. Mercedes never told buyers it would be the last of its kind. When production ended, 4-seat convertibles disappeared from the lineup for over 2 decades. Today, a restored example sells for over $430,000. Nobody noticed it leaving until it was gone forever. Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR 107, the car that refused to die. Mercedes' own engineers nicknamed it Panzerwagen, tank. The press hated it at launch. Then the oil crisis hit and every competitor collapsed. The R107 just kept selling, a V8 Roadster, $10,540 in 1971, $64,230 by 1989. Same bones, 18 years, 237,287 units built. The replacement was ready years early. Mercedes delayed it because the R107 was still outselling everything. Mercedes-Benz W116 S-Class. The car that invented the S-Class, Sonderklasse, Special Class. A 4.5-litre V8, 190 horsepower. The twist, in 1978, it became the first production car in history with ABS brakes, developed jointly with Bosch. Also the world's first turbocharged diesel passenger car, sold only in America. 473,035 units built. It didn't just set the standard for luxury sedans, it invented the category. Mercedes-Benz 450 SEL 6.9, the sleeper that embarrassed Ferraris. It looked like every other S-Class on the road. It wasn't. A 6.9-litre V8, 286 horsepower, 140 miles per hour. The fastest 4-door sedan on Earth in 1975. The Ferrari 308 GTB, launched the same year, was barely half a second quicker to 60 miles per hour. Nobody saw it coming. The 6.9 badge was the only hint. only 7,380 ever built. The most dangerous sedan nobody noticed. Mercedes-Benz 300D Turbo Diesel, the car that never dies. Nobody bought it for speed. A 3.0-litre inline-5 diesel, 120 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 17 seconds. Slower than a school bus. But the OM617 engine became one of the most reliable ever built. A Greek taxi driver documented 2.8 million miles on a single engine. Still original. Still running as bush taxis across Africa with almost zero maintenance. The most indestructible car Mercedes ever made. Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.316 Cosworth, the baby Benz that humiliated champions. A small sedan nobody feared. A 2.3-litre Cosworth-built 16-valve, 185 horsepower, 143 miles per hour. To celebrate the new Nürburgring in 1984, Mercedes organized a race with 9 F1 world champions, including Lauda, Prost and Moss. An unknown Brazilian rookie named Ayrton Senna punted Prost off the track on lap 1 and won. He liked it so much he bought one, the last car he ever paid for with his own money. Mercedes-Benz 500E, the Porsche that wore a Mercedes badge. It looked like a taxi, a 5.0-litre V8, 322 horsepower, faster than a Ferrari Mondial. The secret nobody knew, Mercedes' assembly line was too narrow to build it, so they contracted their arch-rival Porsche, who was nearly bankrupt. Each car travelled between both factories 4 times, hand-assembled over 18 days. Only 10,479 ever built. 2 German legends, 1 secret deal. Supercars, scandals and the AMG revolution. Mercedes-Benz A-Class W168, the Elk test scandal. The Mercedes that tipped over in front of the world. Mercedes' first front-wheel drive car. 1.6 litres, 102 horsepower, $22,000. In 1997, a Swedish magazine ran a routine moose avoidance test. The A-Class rolled over completely. 130,000 cars recalled. The bizarre twist. A Trabant passed the same test without issues. The humiliation forced Mercedes to fit ESP as standard, now mandatory on every car in Europe. The scandal that accidentally made every car on Earth safer. Mercedes-Benz CL GTR, built in 128 days, banned in 2 years. Mercedes needed a race car to beat McLaren in the FIA GT Championship. A 6.9-litre V12, 622 horsepower, $1,547,620. Guinness certified the most expensive production car on Earth. Only 26 road-legal examples built to satisfy homologation rules. The only parts shared with a regular CLK, the headlights and taillights. Today, a surviving example sells for $10 million. Mercedes-Benz MLW 163, the SUV born in a Spielberg movie. Mercedes' first luxury SUV, 3.2-litre V6, 215 horsepower, $34,900, built in Alabama, not Germany. Before launch, Mercedes gave pre-production units to Spielberg to feature in The Lost World, Jurassic Park. It outsold every competitor in its first year. The catch: owners nicknamed it Alabama Trash Can. Quality was so poor, Mercedes spent $600 million fixing the factory before the next generation. Mercedes-Benz SL 73AMG, the ghost car nobody knew existed, never appeared in any official brochure or price list. A 7.3-litre V12, 525 horsepower, 200 miles per hour, hand-assembled to order, each car carrying its builder's name on a plaque. Only 85 ever built. The twist: Pagani liked this engine so much they bought it, powering every naturally aspirated Zonda ever made. The most secretive Mercedes quietly became the heart of one of the greatest Italian supercars ever built. Mercedes-Benz Maybach 57/62, the $1 billion failure. Mercedes tried to out-luxury Rolls-Royce and lost. A 5.5-litre twin-turbo V12, 542 horsepower, $305,000. Jay-Z rapped about them. Celebrities bought them. Mercedes planned 2,000 sales per year. Their best year ever was 244 units. Total losses exceeded $1 billion. Only 3,000 built in 10 years, the most expensive commercial failure in luxury car history. Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. The divorce that cost $450,000. Mercedes wanted luxury. McLaren wanted a race car. 4 years of fighting produced something neither planned. A 5.5-litre supercharged V8, 617 horsepower, 207 miles per hour, $450,000. Sales never hit targets, only 2,157 ever built. The collaboration ended in a bitter corporate divorce. Today, both companies pretend it never happened. Mercedes-Benz C30 AMG diesel. The AMG that ran on van fuel. AMG builds fire-breathing V8s. Everyone knows that. So nobody expected this. A 3.0-litre inline-5 turbo diesel, 228 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, pulled straight from a Sprinter delivery van. AMG rebuilt it almost entirely from scratch, never sold in the US or UK, never listed in regular showrooms, special order only. Only 691 ever built, the only diesel AMG ever made. Mercedes-AMG hasn't touched diesel since, and probably never will. Domination, controversy, and the electric pivot. Mercedes-Benz SL-AMG. The Gullwing came back, with explosive bolts. The first supercar ever designed entirely by AMG. 6.2-litre V8, 571 horsepower, 197 miles per hour, $200,000. The Gullwing doors were a tribute to the 300 SL. The twist. If the car rolled over, explosive bolts fired within 15 milliseconds to blow the doors completely off. The only way to escape, the last true AMG supercar before the suits took over. Mercedes-Benz G580 AMG 6x6. The military truck nobody could stop buying. Originally built for the Australian Army. Mercedes added a 5.5-litre twin-turbo V8. 544 horsepower, 5 differential locks, and a $511,000 price tag. In some countries, buyers needed a commercial license just to drive it on public roads. The bizarre twist, one South African buyer couldn't get a single unit, so he ordered 10 just to force Mercedes to convert them to right-hand drive. Only around 100 ever built. Mercedes-Benz W07 Hybrid F1, the most dominant car that lost anyway. A 1.6-litre turbo V6 hybrid, 950 horsepower, 220 miles per hour. Statistically, the second most dominant F1 car in history, 19 wins from 21 races. The twist nobody forgets, Hamilton dominated all season but lost the championship to his own teammate Rosberg by 5 points. 5 days after winning the title, Rosberg retired forever. The W07 won everything. The driver it made champion never raced again. Mercedes-Benz AMG ONE. 5 years late, zero apologies. Announced in 2017 with a 2019 delivery date, then 2020, then 2021. A literal F1 engine in a road car, 1.6-litre turbo V6 hybrid, 1,063 horsepower, 219 miles per hour, $2.72 million. The engine required a full rebuild every 31,000 miles. Costing $850,000 each time, never approved for sale in the United States. Mercedes CEO later admitted, "We were drunk when we said yes. Only 275 ever built. All sold before a single wheel turned." Mercedes-Benz G580 EQ, the tank that learned new tricks. The G-Wagon has been virtually unchanged since 1979. Then Mercedes dropped 4 electric motors, 1 per wheel, 579 horsepower, 879 pound-feet of torque, $163,000. The twist nobody expected. It can spin 360 degrees on the spot like a tank, a feature Mercedes calls G-turn. Illegal to use on public roads. Also forged 6 inches deeper water than the gas version. The most irrational EV ever built, and the most fun. Mercedes-Benz CLA-EV, the car Mercedes cannot afford to get wrong. 268 horsepower, 400 miles of range, $47,250. Charges 200 miles in just 10 minutes. The previous EQ models flopped badly. Mercedes' own CEO admitted they couldn't afford another failure. The twist, In real-world testing, it drove 434 miles, beating its own EPA estimate. The least expensive car ever to break the 400-mile barrier, Stuttgart's last shot at winning the EV war. From the car that crashed on its very first drive, to a hypercar so extreme America never allowed it on public roads, from Hitler's garage to Jay-Z's driveway, from a car that flipped during a safety test, to an electric SUV that spins in circles like a tank. 140 years of building cars too powerful, too expensive, and too insane to ignore. Hit subscribe and let's explore more legendary machines together.